And I was like, oh God, something's
Yeah.
changing. And I guess to an autistic brain, that matters more. Like to a neurotypical brain, maybe like if your experience is changing, you just go, oh, this feels funny. But to me, I'm like, if I'm not prepared for it to happen, it really affected me. And in retrospect, I've now done a bit of sort of thinking about all of this. It didn't only cause a trip, but it also caused a bit of a meltdown because I was reacting to what was happening.
Ah, so you felt like you were losing control of your body and you sort of went back to that childhood state of meltdown.
Yeah, so, well, it's not just a childhood state, it's just my brain does, like, autistic adults melt down all the time.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I think I just had a bit of a double whammy of having what we call in England pulling a whitey.
I think in America the translation would be a blackout, weirdly.
Oh, that's funny.
Or not quite a blackout, but where you get really sick from something and you just get super dizzy and you generally feel uncomfortable in your body. You had an uncomfortable high. Yeah.
So it built in intensity, but then eventually I think you took me up to the bedroom or something to calm down where it was quiet.
I just wanted to get you away from our parents so they stopped asking you questions.
So I remember feeling as if my head was caving in, like something was crushing my head.
Ooh, that's not a nice feeling.
No. And then I remember feeling like I needed you to call me an ambulance or something.
And I said, "You're an ambulance."
And I remember you said, no, you're fine. You're just having a whitey. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what the actual passage of time was because my perception was all out of whack, but I felt like it was hours and hours and hours.
It might have been.
And I eventually slept it off, I think. Various people came in, like your husband came in and a couple of friends came in.
We wanted to check on you, I think, and I think
Yeah.
one of our sisters came in. And
That's right.
yeah, I think, there's a lot of expectation that when you're on the autism spectrum, you will find some sort of relief from either THC or CBD. But for a lot of people, when they want to try that out, they don't really know where to start.
Yeah.
I always say the best place to start is in the least intoxicating substance from the cannabis plant, which is at the moment is CBD. There's a very gentle relaxation to it, but it's nothing like THC and all of the different terpenes and cannabinoids that come along with that THC. It's not just the THC, there's a lot. It's like a whole symphony, a whole orchestra making a big sound. It's all of these different chemicals that work together from the plant. So different bodies react different ways. But if you start with THC, you're likely to have that, I guess, what we'd call a high, a euphoric experience. And for some bodies, that is not comfortable. That's not where you want to start. So I think that was my bad. Shouldn't have started you on THC.
Well, I suppose that was because at the time you were like, well, it worked great for me.
Yeah, I mean, it came across with every good intention. And I think a lot of people do this. It was at the first sort of few years that I was experimenting with the kind of cannabis that you can get in legal states. And there was just something really relaxing, I think, about that little chocolate covered raisin or whatever I'd given you. And I took one and I told you one.
Yes, you did.
And you just decided the 3 would be cool. And
because I just went, ooh, chocolate.
I feel you there, bro. I do. But what we should have started you on, I guess, is start low and go slow. That's the advice. And that means to start at a low dose and also a low level of THC and maybe even an elevated level of CBD. And you can get those in ratios. So, I mean, when you tried CBD for the first time, that was a very different experience for you. What was that like?
Yeah, that was way, way more positive. I think it was either, I can't remember, either a gummy or a drop under the tongue.
I think it was a tincture under the tongue.
And that was absolutely the opposite end of the spectrum. That was just like, spectrum. That was more like instant vanishing of my tics. And for the first time, I think forever, I just felt completely relaxed. Like, there's always this background chatter in my brain because it's always firing and thinking of a million things. And CBD just completely made me go, oh, I'm not thinking of anything. I can just relax.
Wow. That is,
You know,
that's really something that I think maybe you didn't even realize you were living with.
because I didn't know any different until then.
Wow. That's really life-changing, actually.
Yeah.
You also found that the CBD stopped your tics. So you have the tics where you have to swallow.
Yeah, I have a lot of them.
There's certain facial tics that you have, and there's certain movement, in your body that you
Yeah.
feel comfortable making.
Yeah, I have like nose twitches and eye widening and swallowing and coughing and
Yeah.
all kinds of things. The CBD just, I don't know, it sort of almost involuntarily relaxed all of my muscles in my face and my throat. It's kind of a weird thing to try and explain because in Tourette's, it kind of feels like if you don't tic, you feel wrong.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You kind of just feel like you have to do it in order to feel okay.
Mhm.
And that's why the tics are compulsory. And CBD made it feel like if I don't do them, I'm fine. I don't have to feel right or whatever.
Yeah. So do you feel like it took down some anxiety?
Yeah, I don't know if it is anxiety as such, but it's definitely a tension.
Yeah. Reduce that tension.
It's a feeling of tension.
Yeah. And that was a couple years ago, the first time that you tried CBD. So have you continued using CBD in your life to help you, reduce those tics, reduce that anxiety?
No, actually, not because I don't want to. It's because I don't know what's out there. I don't know enough about what to obtain.
Your sister knows.
Well, yeah, but like you're an expert in what's available in America, and over here, I guess things are different because
Mhm.
CBD has to be very kind of weak over here, and I don't know what the mixtures are or whatever that you can get in shops.
Don't worry about that. We'll figure that out.
You
We'll
know,
figure
and
that out.
there's also loads of different types, and I need to know definite answers to things.
Oh, I know. Do you know what?
I can't just wander into a shop and go, that looks good. I need to go in knowing what you've told me to get.
Do you know what? What if I make a spreadsheet and we discuss the options?
That would be amazing. I love a spreadsheet.
All right. Okay. We will organize and decide which CBD is best for you, because it sounds like this is something that you should, incorporate into your health and wellness routine.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something I could do as my morning routine, along with like brushing my teeth and going swimming or whatever, I just have some CBD. I think that would do me some real good.
All right. We're doing it. Hey, thanks for talking to us.
No worries. Thank you.
A big thanks to both Ian and Spud for chatting with us today. Be sure to read Ian's essay in the back of Different Leaf the magazine Fall 2023, which is out now at differentleaf.com and on thousands of newsstands across the US and Canada. Find your nearest seller at differentleaf.com. Next week, we'll be going to upstate New York to learn about integrating CBD into our spa and wellness experiences with Antonia Schreiber of the Wyndham Spa.
Isn't it gorgeous here?
It's beautiful. The whole drive-in was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a magical drive.
I love it.
We've walked into one of the spa rooms and there are 3 massive sort of couch-like chairs where you can sit and put your feet in these beautiful grey tubs and sit back and let your feet soak in some CBD, and gorgeous views of the trees out the window. All right, Jen, birthday spa. Yes. Subscribe wherever you're listening right now so you don't miss that next episode, and follow us on social media at Different Leaf, and I'm on social media at Brit the British. Make sure you've got your full issue of Different Leaf the magazine available now at differentleaf.com and on thousands of newsstands across the country. Find your nearest in-person retailer at differentleaf.com.